What's up, everybody? Welcome to Marriage Unmastered. It's me, your boy Hen, and I'm here with the lovely, yeah,
Shireal.
amazing. Let me give you
I didn't
some
know what was happening. You stopped.
adjectives and some names. Anyway, I'm here with my beautiful wife, Shireal, the number one and only.
What up, yo? What's up, y'all?
Talk to me, baby. Talk to me. How you feeling tonight?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
How about you?
I'm great. You gonna be better when I tell you this topic.
Okay, well, let's hear
So
it. I'm
for
ready.
today, y'all, the topic is marriage is surgical.
I feel like that's a good topic to piggyback off of last week on, because we was talking about last week how you have to accept all of what marriage comes with what your spouse comes with.
Absolutely.
So I feel like that's a good topic to kind of drill that down a little bit more.
So I would like you to introduce your perspective, your opinion.
Marriage is surgical. Well, first of all, if we want to go biblical, right? In the Bible, God had to open up Adam and remove one of his ribs. That's surgery. That's like he had to put him to sleep. That's anesthesia. Right? Right? So if we gonna
This girl dropping revelation out here.
I'm just saying, like,
okay.
If we want to take it back to there, and then from that surgery, he took Adam's rib and created Eve. Right? So now if we look at it like that, when two people get married, and we talk about this very often, like, there's a degree of change that has to happen. And so you, my husband, you decided to marry me. When we got married, God had to split you open and give me a piece of you. And like, if we take it back to 2025, right? What is that really? Consummation. And a lot of us out here, I'm saying us because I am not innocent. A lot of us out here been married a few times if we talking about consummation. But
so hold on. So been married before. So when you consummate, when you have sex with someone, you marrying them, correct? That's what you're saying?
I'm saying when you have sex with someone, you're taking on a piece of them.
Okay.
For sure.
Creating
I really don't want to have a debate. I already know how it happens, y'all. I'm not really trying to debate that.
Oh yeah.
That just is what it is, and we don't need to debate it. I mean, we can, but I'm not going to change my mind. So there's a piece of you that kind of clings to that person and vice versa. So, but anyways, once we were married and we went before God and we did all the things. So our conservation, now you're giving me a piece of you, I'm taking a piece of, and vice versa, right? So that in the literal sense is surgery. However, there's also this like spiritual sense, right? So there's like, I have to now like shed my single self or pieces of that or evolve it or, and that's not always easy. So that the pain from that can feel like surgery. Right? So the fact that like now I can't hang out till 2:00 in the morning. And I honestly believe I heard this somewhere. So before I even we take credit for this topic, I think I saw like a comedian actually say marriage is surgery. And he broke it down really nice. I wish I could find the clip. But it was almost like, kind of back to what I was saying, having to relearn being outside. That's a surgical lesson. Like, you got to literally reteach yourself how to be outside.
Yeah, you do.
And I mean that in a lot of senses, right? Like how to dress. Like, you might have husbands that's cool with you going out with it all, hanging out. Henry would be like, Shireal, them shorts, I need you to go back in the house. And I'd be aggravated. I'd be like, dang, you bought them. Or he'd be like, yeah, but I bought those for the house. Right?
She's right.
Right? Or like let's go beyond what we wear. Like being outside, like how to be outside and how you interact. We talked about the flirting.
How to be outside.
Right? like how we interact with people outside. Like all that hugging and smiling, you could scale that back a little bit. You know, like that's surgery. You got to relearn that. So there's a lot of relearning, and there's another one about being outside. When to come back in the house. And how to come back in the house, right? I don't get to just be out till 2:00 in the morning chilling, don't answer my phone, and I just stroll in at 2, like, what up? What?
I'm stuttering. That means that struck a nerve, because if you're not answering that phone, best believe it's a problem.
Right.
That I'm going to fix and I'm going to solve.
So things you got to relearn, right?
Yeah.
And I think that whole relearning is a surgical process.
Yeah.
The pain in it.
let me come from this avenue, right? I like the way you talking about with surgical and marriage. Like the surgery is easy.
Is it? Oh, okay. Go ahead.
The surgery is easy, right? The healing part is the painful part.
Ooh, okay.
Because if anybody go through a surgery, you don't really understand what's happening. You kind of under.
You're under.
You don't know what's going on. You be like,
you're in bliss.
What
medication is nice and you floating.
What just happened? And then it's like, great. Ooh, my body is different
now.
The
recovery.
Exactly. Because like if anybody has any major surgery, they put you in a room called recovery room. And it's like the post-op. You can't just go straight home. You got to recover for like at least 2 to 4 hours, and then you're allowed to go home.
Maybe.
Because they don't want any side effects or anything to happen from your recent surgery. So like when you get married, you got to get a little bit of recovery, because like now something just changed in your life, and it's like, okay, we home. I didn't carry you across the room or the threshold of the bedroom. I put you in the bed. We didn't consummate it. Okay, now we're married. Now what happens next?
What happens next?
It's like, okay, let's be married. Like,
and there's no guidebook.
Exactly.
Right?
So you going through different changes. You be like, can I call such and such today? No. Can I talk to?
No.
Can I visit?
Like, dang, calm down. Why not? Then it's that question. Why not? Now we got to have an argument.
Because you can't.
Right.
So that's crazy though. What surgical marriage is surgical.
And surgery, like I feel like too, if we're thinking about the recovery period, it's a lot of sacrifices you got to make during that recovery period. You don't get to move like you used to move. So if you was running, you got to slow down. You got to slow down. You got to make sure your body is right. You know what I'm saying? Like you could run the speed that you used to run. Like you got to take it slow. You don't get to just start sprinting again.
Yeah. So you know what? I got a good example of like that we went through with surgical, like surgery.
Let's hear it.
So with my wife, when I met her, she was doing her thing. She was heavy in the entertainment industry. She was doing shows, acting, she was doing her thing. And then when we started dating, like our dating took away from a lot of that. And then when we got married, it took away from like what she was. And I say what she was because like that was her purpose. That's her gift. Right? She's a writer. She's an actress. She's all these things. And then it was like, I think people's views were like, okay, now you're married. You got to be about your husband and do this. And I know my wife began to get like a little depressed in our marriage because it was like, I'm trying to be a wife, but I'm neglecting my goals and neglecting who I am as a person. And so for her, that was tough. That was hard. And it was like, I can't do this, Henry. I need something. And I tell you now, because I learned like my wife is the type where she needs a project, right? She needs something to do, whether it's with her business or other business, on top of her other jobs and stuff she do, to feel like, okay, now I can be me. This is me. This is what I do. You know what I'm saying? And that part I think was very tough for you. Like Henry, I don't know if this gonna work because I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't just work, kids, home, work. I can't do that. And that's not her. And we had to learn, we had to get into a groove, right? We had to find our groove in our marriage. And that's finding your groove is like the healing part of the
Mm.
surgery. You know what I'm saying? If that makes
Yeah, it
sense.
is. Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah. So find your groove.
That was a really good way to explain that because, like, for us, it took a long time, right? That recovery period didn't just happen,
Yeah, it took a
and
minute.
we kind of had to figure out together how we could still make room for the things that really fulfilled me, and also him, right? Because there were things that Henry was passionate about, and it took me a long time to accept those things too, right? So I remember it's so interesting. I
Pray
remember
tell.
having a conversation. So when I met Henry, he was also working on a lot of things. He was a photographer. He was making YouTube films, um, and
That's my thing.
you
Yeah, I
know, he
wanted to be a
always really wanted
director.
to be in the film industry. So I remember him coming to me. A friend of mine was directing a play, and she and I had been working together for a very long time, and she came to me like, "I want to have Henry in my play." I was like, "What? Like, hold on, I'm the actress." I was like,
Oh,
"Wait up." And then so immediately, and we weren't even married, we were dating, and I was like, "I don't want to date no actor."
she told me straight up.
I was like, I didn't know. I'm the actor in this relationship.
I don't want to deal with nobody that's
Yeah,
an actor.
I mean,
Want to do
very
a film.
selfish, very like narrow-minded. Not also, we were dating at the time, so this is far, far from the growth period. We didn't even had the surgery yet, but like now, fast forward to almost 11 years later, I literally said to him probably like a month ago, and I was like, I can see you in one of them Tyler Perry films. But that
I,
took me really like learning him. That took a
yeah,
lot of growth between us. That took a lot of recovery time.
yeah.
And like now that I know and I accept and I know where his strengths are and what makes him happy and excites him, like I I could see that in him.
By the way, I lit up like a little
Oh my
baby.
God, he was so excited.
Tyler. Plus, keep it real. Tyler pay his people now. Thank you.
Okay,
I'm
but
just saying.
I mean,
I'm just
yes,
saying.
but Tyler is also a lot of great things, right?
He's a phenomenal
So,
director.
but I when I said that I meant it because first of all, Henry loves Tyler Perry. Like I don't care what Tyler Perry put out, he watching it and he is dying laughing. He's sharing it with people. He's like really into it, and also his mannerisms, like the way he is just as a person. Like I could legit see him doing that. But it took so much for me to get there. You know,
Mm.
it took a lot of recovery, a lot of growth, a lot of understanding, a lot of getting to know my husband and the things that make him happy and excited. And for me to be to a place like, yeah, I could see you doing that. I get it.
Why did it take you so long to get there?
Because I think it was a part of the recovery process, right? Like a part of the things I know for sure I had to shed about myself when we got married was selfishness.
Mm.
Because first of all, I was the only child. I was I was the only child. I was a girl. So I was daddy's princess. I was my mother's world. I was the first girl in my family as far as grandkids. So my grandmothers and my aunt, like it was just like worship Shireal. Like there she is. She's the everything. So that's kind of how I grew up. So I didn't have to share, and I still struggle with sharing, but I was very selfish. Period. It just is what it is, and so I had to learn through marriage, through having children, through being incorporated in Henry's family, where he's one of 8 siblings. I had to learn how to share and not be selfish, and all of that is a part of the recovery. That was hard. It was hard for me to shed that and make room for you and the things that also fulfilled you and made you happy.
Mm.
So that was surgical. It was very painful. It was very but it's like once you get through it and you look at your new BBL, you'd be like, oh,
Yo, did
okay.
you just say BBL?
Isn't that the BBL, right?
Yeah, that's
Okay, yeah, that's
what
what
it
I'm saying.
is.
So
What it's called.
like, but once you get through the recovery and
I
you
was
take a look in the mirror, you like, it was worth it.
sitting here getting like a little, not emotional, but like wow, because you've never expressed that before, like having to shed that aspect of you and change in a sense, and to allow me to the
Be
word,
you and
yeah,
grow within who you
you know what
are.
I'm saying? See, but that's one thing that I love about marriage, y'all, because the one thing that God gives you freely for your marriage to connect the way it's supposed to connect is love.
Mm.
And if you don't have love, your marriage can't grow into certain things that it's supposed to grow into. Meaning like being unselfish. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
caring. Like love is many things. Was it
Mm-hmm.
1 Corinthians 13? It talks the whole chapter is talking about love and what
Mm.
love is and what it's not and what it's supposed to be and what it's not supposed to be.
Mm.
Like, and you got to really, that scripture should be studied before you say I do, because you got to know like I'm gonna be the good person one day, and I'm gonna be the absolutely bad person in marriage. But I can't let that change that I said I do to you.
Right.
You know, I took a
Right.
vow before God and said I'm gonna love you the right way,
Mm-hmm.
the way I'm supposed to love you.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And I think that love, like you said, it makes room for the who you are to your core too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like after the recovery, you get to kind of sit back and say, okay, so I know who this person is, right? And God will provide always an outlet. So like even when God gave Henry the podcast, right? I'm like, what is that? Initially, because I'm like, what are you talking? We're not helping anybody.
He said, "What is that?"
I can't. I'm not a counselor. We don't know nothing about being married. We just been 5 years married. So it was very, but that what I didn't realize at the time was God giving me a space to be
Mm.
creative and to have a purpose with our marriage, with another project on my plate, being his helpmate and helping him execute this idea, this mission that God gave him. Like it really made space for me to be Shireal. And
Mm.
as well as it made space for Henry to be Henry. Like even within the podcast, we have our roles, right? Like I'm not doing no editing and all that. Like that's your producer, director part, bro. There you go. Like after we leave here, I'll make a flyer. I'll set up an event. I'll connect with the talent. Like we really had to learn how to exercise our strengths and give each other space to be who we are in this space, right? So like God will provide a way for y'all to continue to grow. And this is like something we never expected, anticipated. This is like
Never.
solely something that came straight from the Lord. And we was like, okay, let's be obedient. And it's great. Like we have been able to literally talk through so many things that we would have never talked through
Mm-hmm.
and maybe never even got through had we not had this platform.
Not only that, people have expressed things to us like, "Yo, I needed that," or "Me and
Mm-hmm.
my wife talked about certain things with," and I'm gonna say it's a sensitive topic, like with um uh when we went through
Miscarriages.
miscarriages,
Mm-hmm.
but like a husband explained, we worked together years ago, and he said, "Yo, me and my wife talked about like an abortion that we never talked about. We're married and have kids now, but like we just did it when we first got together, and it was like, all right, that's it. But when y'all talked about it, like we opened up, and it had been like they said like 5-10 years since they talked about, like they never did stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is so rewarding to us because of the impact that happens.
Mm.
It's
Mm.
it's just a blessing either way.
It really is. It's like being
Yeah.
creative on purpose, with purpose.
Hmm.
And so, like, but even so, through this platform now, we have this that we get to do together and kind of shine. But we also get to see different parts of each other, like, in how we shine in different areas and encourage and push and want to help develop that.
Mm-hmm.
And then God from there just being obedient will open up new doors for us. So who knows? Maybe Tyler gonna see this and be like, you know what, he would be good in one of my films. Let me ring them up. Like so God will use if we're obedient and we are disciplined in our recovery and we are being respectful and committed and all the things, then God will then open up a new door. and it's gonna still be connected to who we are and our core. But now we're in a space where we deserve it because we can really help each other and move each other forward. Whereas before, we might have, I'm gonna speak for myself, I might have tried to hold Henry back. Like, I don't want no actor like that, that nonsense that came out of my mouth. But now I'm at a place, if that door opens for him, I'm like, go, babe, go. Run,
That's what's up.
So it's like, you really just have to like,
oh Lord, we thank you.
Oh Lord, we thank. Come on, Tabitha. You really just have to respect the process.
Yeah.
Like really, really, really like honor the recovery. But it is, I think, like let's wrap it up. It's surgery, period. And let's have that debate, Facebook.
I like that.
Let's have that debate, Facebook. But
you said something crazy. You said two things. You said honor the process and honor the recovery, or trust the recovery.
I don't remember. Maybe.
Yeah.
I be flowing. Let's be on.
Yeah, that was good. But you know what? It makes sense because I have to trust God's process for you.
Same. Yes.
Like, I cannot play God and say, babe, sometimes God got to deal with you a certain way and I can't touch it.
God, I thank you. Okay, so we still in tab. Okay, but real quick, I just got to say that. Speaking of that, legit, like, we were going through something just recently, and it had to do with creativity and me having a desire for what I felt Henry should be doing. And it was like irking me. I mean, literally losing sleep. I was talking to my therapist about it. It was like a whole thing. And finally, I literally had to stop and say, you know what, Lord? I have to give this over to you for not even just not for Henry to do what I want him to do, but for me to understand what Henry's process is and to be able to be a part of pushing that forward, like what you have for him. Like, so sometimes as a wife, for me, like when I get into this is what I think should, because I'm very, I'm a planner and I think this thing should go this way and you should do things this way and all the things. But sometimes I have to stop and say, you know what? Let me step back from this. Let me pray that the Lord reveal to me and to my husband what this really is supposed to look like, right? Because if you don't, then you get caught up in this like battle of not really letting your spouse grow into where God is trying to grow them. And, you just trying to do what you're trying to do with it. So there's like, again, surgery, like having to be like, whoa, my hands are shaky right now. Let me back up from the scalpel.
But you know what? Let me speak to that, because that can be pressure, but then that can also be called ambition. Like, I think every spouse wants their husband, every woman will want their husband to be ambitious, and vice versa, if that's what you want for your spouse. However, there's a way to go about it. You can't move the needle.
Yeah.
You got to watch the needle.
And you got to try to like throw little nuggets in, like you got to find your way to be a part of that process where it's helping and not hindering.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully this made sense to everybody. I feel like for us, like, and just the things that we've been through, like, we can definitely understand it, and it really does resonate with our experience. But we'd love to hear from you. We love to hear y'all feedback. We forgot to book again, so OMG, we will have it next time.
It's all good.
But please, again, go to the website, marriageunmastered.com. 21 Habits of Love, a plan for romance in your marriage. Make sure you click on that link and order it now.
That's right. It's out there.
So thanks again for sticking with us through another episode. We will talk to y'all next week.
Peace.
Bye.